And what I mean by let's see what this kit looks like, I mean what it looks like naked without its armor. But here's the Sinanju Stein, fully constructed with the inner frame. This part, of course, is not held. It's held by a little bit of pressure, because I think the part of the armor holds on to this a little bit more. So if it falls off, it's because of that. But looking at how big it is in the scale, I was like saying, "Wow, that is huge! Very nice." I'm digging where Bandai is going with their current kits. I know that this is going to be probably the same height as the Sinanju OVA kit, which I'm hoping that it will win. I know you guys are still voting for it, but this is pretty cool. I'm really digging this. The one thing I didn't do, of course, is assemble the hands, because those things need to be prepared and painted and things like that. And it will be painted German gray color acrylic. I don't want to do lacquer, because lacquer on movable parts, well, I had a problem. You guys remember that. Using acrylic should be okay. It won't show up too much. The only thing, of course, is that I may have to, again, I think I mentioned this before, I may have to work on a few things which I will detail up. Like the thrusters here and here will be painted the way I was mentioning before. Maybe the hydraulic here and here. I didn't realize that the head had this this umbilical setup up here, so I may have to. I'm thinking of maybe popping that out, doing a coarse gun chrome on that one. Who knows? I'm not too 100% sure. However, I have an idea which I didn't mention before, and I'm trying to find the paint. I will surprise you guys. If I could do it on the thrusters on the back, I'm going to do it over here, and you'll see it. Yeah, this is going to be a cool kit, really cool kit. And I don't think I mentioned this before, but if this comes out the way I want it, and if it comes out perfect, I definitely believe that it will be one of my entries for Comic-Con. The one thing that I'm a bit surprised that this kit does not have is the option to put in an LED. The Jesta has that option, and I don't know if I believe the OVA version of the Sinanju doesn't. But you would think that they would be able to squeeze in that little space to put in the LED light. I guess maybe they didn't. They can't figure it out, considering of the pod of the capsule that's inside. But it is what it is. What are you gonna do? Okay, guys. Enough babbling. I'm gonna put this to the side. I'm gonna start removing these parts. And next, I'm gonna begin cleaning, preparing all these parts for painting. Let's get started. So here are all the white parts prepared for me to paint. Here are the smaller ones. I bought new sticky tacks, so I have them on these. As you can see, here's the red, because they definitely need to be primed. The light gray, and of course the white. Some of the smaller parts, which is very, very delicate. I thought I had double-sided tape, but I guess I must have ran out of that. So I used a strip of the sticky tack. Let me show you. And I have it hold up like that, so I don't lose them. And some of the parts that are the same, that goes around, that wraps around, I put a sticky tack in between, so that way I can paint them evenly. So here's another one right here. I think this is part of the arm. This will not use a sticky tack. I actually use friction there to hold. Excuse me. So the one thing that I might as well say this now, and I'll probably repeat myself, so I'm sorry about that. Remember I told you guys that I'm planning to do a pattern where you'll see camo, kind of like a camo like feature that I'm going to do, kind of like what I did with the camphor last year. However, for me to do the camo, after I finish priming and painting these, well, remember this is going to go in stages. So first thing I'm going to do is prime. Then I'm going to paint the gun chrome, and I hope I have enough. I may have to go to my hobby store and buy another one. Once they're all painted, and then I apply the masking tape over the specific areas, it's not going to look evenly, because if I put like a masking tape here and the other one puts in there, it's not going to conform well. It's not going to line up properly. Hopefully you guys understand that. I can get away with it if I did it on this one, because it easily wraps around, but this is not going to be camouflaged. It's the white parts that are. So this one is a perfect example where I can actually spray, prime, then airbrush the chrome silver, gun chrome. Then apply a layer of clear coat, so that way I can at least cover that. I want to put a thin layer of the clear coat, so that way if I put the tape on it, it doesn't peel the whole thing off, just peels off the clear coat. And then apply the tape here, 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 and then spray paint it white. And once it dries, peel it off. I can do that with this. I won't be able to do that. Well, partially I won't be able to do that with this, because then I would need something that I would have to hold these two guys together and get the armor there to go in front of that, so that way I can put the layer over it. I may have to go to the dollar store and find I think silly putty. The only thing I can think of to hold it would be a mold. I don't want to do that on the leg. I don't want to do it on the leg, because clearly when I spray paint the whole thing, I don't want it to paint this. I want to paint that. Of course, another idea would be for me to take the parts, put it on gradually onto these parts, not all the way, just gradually, and then spray paint it, and then peel it out, and then repaint this the color that I want. That's an idea. We'll explore both possibilities, but right now I think it's high time I begin priming this kit. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to begin painting my parts, or priming my parts, and as you can see, I pulled out my new Mr. Super Booth spray booth, which I'm going to use to paint my kits. I don't have my my Tamiya spray booth, because I gave that, I sold that to Spider 2X2, who I met at the MosquitoCon show this year. I'd like to thank him for, I know that he needed it, and then hopefully he's utilizing it to his full potential. And his work is pretty good, so please go to his channel and subscribe to him. Anyway, so I got this one, and it's in my room, as you could see. I don't have it in my living room. Normally I do everything in my living room, but it's so hard to prepare stuff over there in my living room. Here, I'd rather have it in my room. I got the actual what do you call that? The vent, one of the two vents outside my stuck outside my house, my window. It's behind my air conditioning. Right now, it's not too hot for me to do this, so it's perfect temperature at this moment. I got a little mask here ready for me to put on. Let's kickstart this little guy and see how it sounds. a relatively low density, high speed sound that I'm hearing right now. Alright, it's pretty cool. I do feel it sucking the air out. Alright, let's get this up. Here's my Mr. Surfacer 1200. I have a Tamiya version, which I gotta find, because I'm not feeling the amount that I have in this can. So we're gonna begin with this, and I'm just gonna do light bursts. First, make sure there's no particles on it. Then there we go. I know with the lighting you probably can't see it considering you're going with light gray over white. But, I don't want to oversaturate it too much. But again, when you spray paint, when you prime parts, the one thing you don't want is something to be oversaturated because then you have to sand it down. Very, very little bit of fumes coming out, but it's coming out from the parts itself, not from in front of me. The fumes have dissipated. But for safety purposes, I'm going to be putting on the mask, so I'll continue. Right now I'm just demonstrating, this. Oops, missed. You guys are probably saying, why am I priming this since I'm going to paint it white? Remember, I'm painting the gun cone over it. So I want to make sure that it goes well on it and it smooths out, because I did do a lot of sanding on this. It may not notice it, but like this one here, there were like seam lines right in the middle of this, so I had to sand it down properly. And now barely shows a little. Also the curved ones I had to sand down as well.